What's the mood in the locker room after a match like that?
Oh, they were disappointed. There was a few guys I think that had some chances for us were pretty irate. And then more self-reflection on the group and their own chances. So yeah, they were disappointed. They knew they did enough to get the result. So to not come away with a tie, I think we would have been like, oh, still one more. Just a loss, a little bit tough for the group.
Obviously, Washington's a very good team. Obviously, don't want to lose, but how do you evaluate this game just going forward?
I like this team a lot. I told them that look at all the phases of the game and overall performance. You can say that's a deep tournament team. I thought we were really outside the first 15-20. We're in control. They had moments and they're good. They're going to have a couple of flurries, but man, we really kept again another team with very limited from the run of play. So like collectively, that's a really good sign. And we're creating our chances. It may be different if we're not giving up chances, but not creating them. We're doing both. Restart phase of the game, I think still we need to find ways to score restarts. And felt like we didn't generate enough corners for kind of as many kind of dangerous attacks we had, and sometimes that's just an unfortunate bounce. Their keeper played great. He kind of stood in his head, and they're a good team. I mean, we knew this would be a battle, and yet I felt, looking back, besides the result, pretty good about things.
Coach, to go off of that, especially in the first 15, 20 minutes, you guys were losing the midfield battle, and then especially after halftime, you guys were dominating. So what did you tell them at halftime?
Well, a little bit was our pressing shape, and where Patty and Jack were. We were a little disconnected in our press, and they were kind of playing their underneath striker in an interesting spot. It was asking some tough questions for Hugo and BB. So we solved that as the half went with Jack and Hugo's positioning, and I thought we also dropped a little bit and kind of pressed a little bit from a deeper position, which kind of collapsed the midfield. Their two center midfielders I think are as good as a pair will play. Those guys are experienced. They have they're very good and they have a lot of experience. But I thought Pat and Jack did really well against them, really well. But that's as good as a combo of one, the way they move the opponent, the way they move off the ball, the way they manipulate space. I think they're very good. And their left center back's a good passer, so they were asking some questions of us defensively, which I thought we solved as the game went.
A positive from tonight that has nothing to do with the game, but I wanted to ask you about the atmosphere. It was almost full tonight, and and it was a great atmosphere. But with that, Nebraska had 92,000 at volleyball. Iowa's going to have 70,000 at their stadium. You ever thought of making it a grand thing of college soccer and trying to play a game in Memorial Stadium and try to set some kind of record in attendance for college soccer with 50,000 and do something like that, and even just talk about the atmosphere and whether that's something you ever considered to just even put soccer on a bigger stage?
Yeah, well, the challenge with that, I was neat what Nebraska did, but obviously the field just too narrow, so it would take away from the game. But yeah, I think what they did was a cool thing. Obviously, I was watching that tonight. That was neat. But yeah, I don't think that's in the cards. But I did think, going back to your point, I thought tonight's atmosphere was great. Students were really good. Our community and kind of staple fans were fantastic. I mean, we just didn't give them the win, but I think people leaving this field again tonight, I think, are really going to enjoy and saying I'm going to come back and watch that team. And that's what you want, and we'll continue to give them a lot to cheer about.
What do the next couple of days look like to bounce back and play a tough Seton Hall team?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's recovery will be really important for the main guys, and then we'll train a bit with the guys that didn't play much or didn't play at all, keep them in a good rhythm, and quickly get ready for Seton Hall from the standpoint of kind of our tactical plan, where we think we could have some advantages and where their strengths are. So as a staff, we'll be doing that. And that's the good thing. If this was the one big game we had and we had three kind of cupcakes the next three, it's a little harder for the guys to be okay, we lost that opportunity. But Seton Hall's a tournament team, obviously playing in the Sweet 16, or was it Elite 8? I'm not sure what game that was, COVID, but either way, they're a good side. So it's, after a loss, you want a good opponent to follow back up with, and Seton Hall will do that for us.
Coach, it was a quick turnaround from Tuesday to tonight. Was there any fatigue late in the game for anybody that you made subs that you wouldn't normally make?
I thought there was a little, yes and no. I thought we managed the subs pretty well. We have to talk to some guys to see maybe how they felt and look at the numbers to see maybe we pushed a And Sammy, we maybe kept him a little longer. We wanted to give him a little spell and get him back in. Collins just couldn't go a lot, so it's like, right when you think you might need one, he still finds ways to still look and move sharp. So, and then Q we brought in for more of an attacking option. That wasn't Jack's full performance or fatigue. It was just gets him higher, drop Jack or Patty back a little bit for his distribution. And then Sammy basically became our right wing back. So we were just going to defend the two and go even and let Margaret and Sammy go. And I thought that created some problems late for that. And then Hugo, moving him in the box at some point just so that he's going to be a menace to deal with. And so we were trying that a little bit earlier. We just couldn't kind of get him up there fast.
Washington, at the start of the second half, was playing a lot of deep passes, and that pattern continued for 20 minutes. Do you think that kind of caught off guard for Hugo and Alex when they kind of went down the sideline there to score the goal?
I think I have like a recollection in my head about what happened. Then we got caught in between a step, and I thought they made two quick little plays and a nice little. It seemed like either the third man run or give and go with 9:33. I can't remember, but I thought it was live. I thought it was more of a good play by them, and not like, wow, what happens? That I didn't think there was like a crazy breakdown, but I'll have to look at that. I didn't have a great angle because of the bench. So, I thought again, Barger's been playing really well for a freshman. I think Hugo and Joey are playing at a high level, and BB's had another good game. So JT's playing well. I'm pleased with our back unit. So against a good team, you're gonna give up a couple of chances. It's just they're a quick keeper. I mean, their goal was we had 2 or 3 chances better than that, if you will. So that's the disappointment.
Can you talk about the difference between what happened on Tuesday with DePaul, who basically sat back all night and let you pepper at the goal, and it was all defense? Tonight, it's more of a back and forth game. Can you talk about the difference between, playing a game, that's back and forth versus one, where the other team just basically lets you fire at them all night and trying to play for the draw?
We knew it would be like this tonight. They're not a sit-back team. Neither are we. I thought we both conceded maybe when you needed to and just conceded some territory and said, let's just keep it tight. And I thought we did a good job of that. We can't press all the time high on the field, so they're smart too. We knew the game would have a tempo. Neither team wants to methodically move it around. Both teams are fairly vertical and dangerous going forward, and that's why I think it was an exciting game. Although a late goal, I think the fans and people watching, I'm sure, were like that was good level soccer from both teams. And again, in particular, I thought we did some really good stuff second half.
How do you assess the shot selection between DePaul on Tuesday and today?
Well, I thought we took a couple ill-advised tonight, but we certainly had a lot more of them on Tuesday. I didn't think we had a lack of composure in as many tonight. We didn't have as many. I thought Sammy had a shot that was not look good, did not look good from the beginning. A couple from distance, I thought we could have better keep it on frame. Collins had a couple. I thought again we tend to go a little bit high, so some of that's just again knocking your foot, leaning back a touch, shoulders, just some fine details. It's going to continue, but you get fatigued. It's hard. So no, I wasn't like, wow, we had 50% of the ill-advised shots. So I thought our selection was pretty good.
Coach, what, if anything, did you learn about your team tonight?
It's driven. They're mad. That's fine. My job now is to give them perspective. Luckily, we have some older guys that have that, and let them, use this as a reminder of how small the details can be, and yet at the same time quickly recalibrate them. So I like the edge of this group. I do. I like the fact that they do leave the field wanting more. Not that any team we've had would be satisfied with a loss, but certainly maybe more questioning at this stage of the season. I don't think this group's questioning one bit what they're capable of doing. I think they're like, that's a game we're going to win based on what we did. And that I like. So, from positives for this team.
From what we learned Tuesday, the guys said there was a lot of confidence going into half, considering the disparity of shots. Was it the same way tonight, or maybe was the quality of the opponent make you guys a bit more nervous?
Well, I just think it's a different opponent. I mean, it'd be like playing in the late rounds of the tournament. Like, you're never going in there and throttling this team. It's rare, right? So we knew it'd be tight. We knew they were capable. We just want to make sure we didn't get out of shape. We didn't let them have transition moments. talked about where the key guys are, but no, I think there was a lot of confidence. But like, yeah, we had to respect the opponent a lot when it came to what they could do to us. Where Tuesday, they weren't asking a lot of questions of us. It was just like we just got to make sure we finish our chances and be smart. But yeah, I was pleased with the guys' response to the half and the way they chatted. They're solving things well before we come in. We kind of hear some of the dialogue. They're talking about things. I love that. So as they take ownership of what we need to do better, we're in a great spot.
We'll look ahead to Seton Hall. What do you think? Nothing? All right.
Thanks, guys.